Counterpunch boxing news. Counterpunch boxing news.
Like he said.
Counterpunch boxing news.
Like he said.
Counterpunch boxing news.
Like he said.
Counterpunch boxing. Counterpunch boxing news.
Fight is on the horizon and much talked about. Deontay Wilder. Will you be busy before that? Will you fit in another contest before hopefully facing him?
No, the time frame doesn't really give an opportunity for that. The mind says fight in October, but in reality, we're trying to schedule a fight for December. So unfortunately, no. And that's the time scales we're looking forward to, really. So in reality, I'm going to focus on the Wilder fight for now.
People are reading about one or two hurdles arising in negotiations. What can you say about that?
No, I feel from what I've heard, things are positive. You know, we've got the obviously stumbling block. We've got Fury's got to get past Ngannou, Usyk's got to get past Dubois. Good luck to both of them. Good luck to every party involved. And then we can then sit down and kind of rejig things around. So the goal is to have Usyk and Fury potentially compete for the Undisputed Heavyweight Championship. Myself and Deontay Wilder, two big punchers, great fighters, been to the top of the mountain, slug it out, and may the best man win. So it'll be a great event potentially. So we're just waiting to see what happens and then finalize the devil in the detail.
And those are the words of Anthony Joshua as he gives us intel on possible fights. Shuts down other ideas or other possibilities of him fighting later on in the year. That shut down, which is great. Because that was this whole thing like, oh, well, hey, AJ wants to fight 3 times this year. Okay, you won't have time. That's the first thing I thought about. Okay, well, when will he have time to do that if he just fought in August? You know, and then he has to fight Wilder in January. Okay, so him setting the record straight. I like transparency. Okay, I'm going to focus on Wilder for now. Okay, now another thing that's in the dark is Dubois, Usyk, Ngannou, Fury. Okay, so what's going to happen with these guys if they come out victorious? That tells me that Skills Challenge still wants this somewhat of tournament-style thing going on with these 4 fighters. Usyk, Fury, Wilder, and Joshua. Now, I don't know how that's going to work because we already heard Eddie Hearn say that, hey, we're not going to fight on the same night. That shit won't make sense. And I don't know if it would. I mean, a lot of money would have to be pushed out. I mean, not saying they don't have it, but I've never seen nothing that big. It's almost like a farewell to heavyweights. You know what I mean? Like, okay, because everyone's fighting at one time. Usyk's fighting Fury that never fought each other before. Joshua's fighting Wilder that's way overdue that never fought before. You know, and then, like, I guess the winners would fight each other. So, you know what I mean? And I think if shit, you know, you know what I mean? Like, the winners out of these two, it would have to be a mix and a match in order for it to be appealing. In other words, Usyk would have to beat Tyson Fury for me, and then Wilder would have to knock out Joshua for us to see fights that we've never seen before. You know what I mean? So it's basically a very complex deal that they're trying to work on if they're still having in mind of fighting all at the same night. Okay? But again, I do like the idea that Joshua is focusing on Wilder. Now, speaking of Wilder for a second, people, Wilder concerns me because Wilder hasn't fought yet. He hasn't fought since last year. And, like, this is what I don't want. Let's do two separate scenarios. One, Wilder fights Joshua, knocks him out, no problem. To this day, I told y'all he was scared. I told y'all, right? Okay. Then we won't have any problem. But the second scenario, Joshua goes, beats him up, pulls a Wilder Fury 2, stops him in 10 and 7th rounds. What is everybody going to say then? The first shit is going to come up, people. Watch, listen, and learn. The first thing that will come about is Wilder was what? Inactive. That's right. So my concern is for Wilder to get a fight, so we won't need anybody to run to anything for any reason for an excuse that Wilder was inactive. That's what I don't want. And see, ego is a mother sucker. We don't know. We know Wilder's confident. We know he should be confident, but not overconfident. What do I mean? I mean, well, it's great that you can knock people out, Deontay, with one shot, but that doesn't mean it doesn't mean that you shouldn't go in there and prepare yourself by fighting someone to have you ready for that battle to come. Just in case that one shot that you throw doesn't do it that night. That's what I want, because I don't want any excuses at the end of the day. You know, boxing is full of them. People, fans, fanboys, fanatics, worshipers, whatever you want to call them. They will come up with any and everything that they have in their imagination to use in defense of their fighter getting their ass handed to them. And that's what we don't want. So if Wilder does go out there and he looks shitty against AJ and everything and everybody's against AJ and how he looked in his last 2 fights, but he's had 2 fights. And then Wilder goes in there with not having any fight because he didn't get the Ruiz fight. He didn't get the Ngannou fight, which he aimed for, as well as Tyson Fury. Well, he gets beat by Joshua, and he gets beat by Joshua based on what? You know? And it might not even be inactivity at all. But I don't want that to be the go-to, the solution to make up an excuse because Wilder got his ass handed to him. He got knocked out. You know, no, it might not even been because he was inactive. But the whole point is we don't want that to be an excuse. He might have just been Joshua caught him. All she wrote. 2 big punchers. I get it. People will be surprised. Don't be that damn surprised because look at Joshua's knockout ratio. You know what I mean? It's high as Hades too, people. So let's stop with I had no idea. To this day, you should be more concerned with how Tyson Fury knocked out Deontay Wilder. Why? Because he wasn't known to be a puncher. But Anthony Joshua is. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of AJ's latest update on Wilder himself, Tyson Fury, and Alexander Usyk. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!